Hello, hello, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for y'all being here. And we try and come here every Friday to try and answer your questions when it comes to media ministry. I don't know everything, folks, but hopefully we make your journey in media ministry a little bit easier. Let me make sure my phone is on mute so it's not blowing up like crazy. And grab my other one that was right out of sight. I hope y'all are doing well. We got a lot of stuff going on, some things to announce and all that other fun stuff. Let me move my screen out of the way so I can actually see y'all. Hope y'all are all doing phenomenal. Let's see. Let's holler at some folks here. And turn my fan up. Reverend Leroy, hello, hello. How are you doing, sir? Anthony, what is going on? Mr. Rob Wilson, good morning, good morning. Aiken from London, how are you doing, sir? Parker, hello, hello. Mr. Clarence, how are you doing? Sydney, hey, good morning. Christ First United Methodist Church, Jamestown, hello, hello. Mike from Canada, how are you doing, sir? Mr. Baldwin, how are you doing? And Richard, how you doing from New York? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, we got a lot of great things going on, folks. So let me get the formal stuff out of the way. Just know if you ever have any questions, folks, you know you can hit me up at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond. If we go back and forth in emails, more than 4 emails, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and just book a consultation. That is at ajhomes.com/consultations. We do Zoom, phone call, in person, all that other good stuff. We do travel, folks. Next week, I will be in Elgin, Chicago from Monday until Thursday morning. I'll be back here in Richmond at noon. So my flight leaves Thursday morning at 6 a.m. A couple of people have reached out to me, so I may try and get over to y'all. I think Reverend Holiday, I'm going to catch up with him. And it was somebody else that reached out to me that is in the Chicago area. I'm waiting for an email, trying to get over there. We're going to be at First United Methodist Church back in Elgin, starting prepping for unifying that church, put unify stuff, cameras, all this other stuff there, going there to do project management up there. So I'm going to be there for about 3 days and then come back. What else we got going on? If you're not a part of the Facebook group, and you really should, go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions. You are in like Flynn. That is it. And Mr. Rob Wilson already mentioned it, and we're going to be coming back to it. But our second day and final day of our 2025 eMissionary Conference is coming up next weekend. You don't want to miss it. We have some people that are teaching new classes. Some people are teaching the same session again live. If you get in there, you can always watch any of the sessions that were already there and still that were last week. I mean, not last week, in July. But then you can also watch and partake in the new sessions as well. I know the West are teaching some new stuff. Augustine is teaching something new. I'm teaching 2 new classes. I'm teaching one on church post-production, and I'm also probably going to build a computer there as well, too, if y'all are interested. That's what we got going on. But let me get all the other stuff out of the way. We got a bunch of announcements that I want to go over with y'all. So just let you know, if you ever like any of the merch that we do, and this is how support the channel, do other stuff, pays for the giveaways and all the other fun stuff, you can go to emissionarygear.com, get the shirts and stuff like that. We still got some new stuff that we're going to be putting out there pretty soon. Also, we want to shout out your teams, folks. Send me a picture of your media team. You can send that to questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. Get a picture of your team. Tell me what your ministry is, where you're located, so I can shout out your team because they're doing a lot of great stuff. And we want to use this platform to promote and thank and appreciate all the hard work that y'all media ministries all over the world do. Also, big thank you for those who are still purchasing. My second book, Modern Media Ministry, is now necessary. It is available on Amazon. We still have a few that are available on the website, AJaytheCEO.com, if you want them signed. We do Kindle, paperback, hardcover. You can get all of those on Amazon, or if you want them signed, you can go through my website, AJaytheCEO, and get those there. We already mentioned the conference, like I said. This is some new info. I need to update this, but this is the new one. We talked about this. Coming up June 16th through the 20th, 2025, we're having our first eMissionary group vacation. This is just going to be at a hotel, a resort. We were looking at Texas, but the prices were getting kind of out of control. I did not want to get anywhere that was $500 to $700 a night. So we are moving right now based on the poll that we did on the Facebook group. We're going to do this in Florida for right now. Details are coming. I'm just finding a hotel that's close enough to one of the airports and it is reasonably priced. Again, we're not having no meetings or nothing. The only thing we're going to do is have a roundtable in person that we're also going to live stream. but that's about it. But it's just meant to have about 4 to 5 days of just relax and associate with some of the people that you see here on the comments and that you associate with on the Facebook group. And it's just time to mingle and relax. Families are invited. I'm bringing my little one with me, so we're going to be having a blast. Now, the following week after that, then we're going to the 2025 emissionary cruise. We're going back on the Freedom of the Seas, leaving June 23rd to 27th. I'm leaving out of Miami, going to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, then Nassau, Bahamas, then back. It's 4 nights, 5 days. So the same amount of time that's on land, we're just doing it on sea. Same thing. Now, one thing I would recommend, if you're not a part of the Facebook group, that's where all that information is. So the event for the vacation, all the details are here. I need to update the hotel once we change that, but the dates are going to be the same. All that information is there. And if you're interested in the cruise, the information is here. The group number and all this other stuff that you need to call in to book is there. Now, when it comes to the hotels, for the cruise, because that's already in stone, we have until August 28th to book 8 rooms so that we can keep those discounts in place. The deposit is $100 a person or $200 for the room. And the prices are very, very reasonable compared to if anybody's been on any cruise. That information is there. Later this afternoon, I'm booking the one for me and my daughter. I'm taking her on her first cruise, so I'm excited about that. If you haven't been on one, we had a bunch of people that went on our first one. We had a blast. So we'll hope to see you there, whether it be on the cruise or at the hotel. I'm going to relax. That's what it's all about. Hope to see y'all there. We got some more people that are on here. Keith, hello, hello. Scott, hello. Patrick, hello. Pillar of Stone, Zambia, hello. Mr. G. Albert, hello, hello. Monty, what is up, sir? Let's get some dry fit shirts. Hey, we got some shirts that we're gonna be with those logos. Those are the ones that are gonna be on the shirt, so we know who is who. We got that going on. Oh, we got some French here, so I'm gonna have to translate that. Oh, we actually translated it for me. We're gonna get to Bonjour, je voudrais vous demander, cher. My French is so rough, but thank you for translating it. We're gonna get to you. And he lives in Brussels and Belgium. Awesome. All right, so folks, when we get to y'all's questions, please start it off with a Q so it's easy for me to see. And we're going to start off with Mr. Leroy, Reverend Leroy. He showed me this. This was a tool that I used to use back in the day, but I have not played around with it because they've done some significant updates to it. He was asking if I've heard of fancy zones with the Power Tools. Microsoft Power Tools has a bunch of great stuff that they lump a bunch of things together. That's how I learned about Rich Copy and all those. And that's actually a part of Mouse Beyond Borders is what I use so that if I zoom out here with all my computers, I have Mouse Without Borders. So my one keyboard and mouse goes to all of these computers that I have here. And that's one of the tools that is a part of this. So if we cut over here so you can see, these are all the things that come with Power Tools. So you got advanced paste. You can do some extra stuff with that. Always on top. You can set that. You can do an awake command. You have color picker, which is great. I do that a lot of times when I need to find a color to an image and I want to match it. That's built in right here. Command not found. I need to play around with that one. Crop and lock. Crop and lock allows you to crop a current application into a smaller window or just create a thumbnail. That's cool. Environment variables. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff. This is Fancy Zones, the one that Reverend Leroy was talking about. And I actually was playing around with this. So if I hit the command Windows, Shift, and tilde, it opens up this window. And now I can make custom zones of how I want windows to be placed. So I did this custom one here. So you see the outline. So now when I drag, I have to hold down Shift and click on the title bar, and now it will fit into one of those zones that I've predetermined. So you can't see it, but I actually have that on my other screen. I use the same thing because normally I'm having the vMix chat and I have YouTube here. And I need to, let me go here and let me turn off tracking so I can let you see with the other camera what I did with this monitor. Come on, let me log in. That is camera 3. We need to turn off tracking off. All right, so now we can go to that camera. We cut over here. So as you can see, I have this one zoned here so I can have placement for everything, because most of the time I have all these screens set up so that I can do everything. Like I said, this is a miniature media ministry. So I got my Pro Presenter here doing the graphics and stuff like that. And then we got our streaming PC right there with my Chick-fil-A cup. And then we also have my main streaming system. But yeah, I organized this so I can have multiple screens at the same time so that I don't have to do that. So that's the fancy zones that Reverend Leroy was talking about. And then, like I said, inside of here, it was mouse without borders. I already have it on, but I'm going to transition it over to this since I have it installed. You got a bunch of other cool stuff that you can do as well. Conference room mute, okay. Text extractor, pull text from anywhere on the screen, so that's pretty cool. Just a lot of great stuff. Power tools, I've used them for a long time, but I just haven't dabbled with it recently. So Reverend Leroy, thank you so much for that. If you want me to do a detailed video on that, let me know. We'll go from there. Also, Reverend Leroy has a question about, I added a field monitor to your M50. Not getting any video on the monitor nor to the ATEM. I can see an image on the flip out screen on the M50, but no picture. What am I missing? If you close the screen, see, I think with the Canon, just like with my other camera, it doesn't, some cameras don't allow you to see video on the flip out screen and output at the same time. That I don't know. I haven't messed with that camera before. And you said you're not getting anything on the field monitor either. Huh. Again, I haven't messed with the M50, but normally if it has HDMI out, there should be settings that show what is displayed. So like right here, this is my Pocket Cinema camera. They used to be right here, but I'm using the Micro Cinema camera right now. But like on here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. But see, in our menu settings, I know it's hard. Right now, I have an HDMI, so now I can set what comes out when I connect this to HDMI. So right now, I can have a setting called Clean HDMI that just puts out everything. I mean, doesn't put anything on the screen. There's nothing with the video. I have that as an option. A lot of cameras should have some setting like that. Again, I have not messed with the M50 personally, but if it offers HDMI out, there should be something to determine what is going out on the HDMI. I would look at that, and I need to look up that model to see if I can see a menu or something like that to give you some more information about that. I'm looking over here to make sure my audio is still straight. Let's see. Aiken, I kind of responded to this one, but you're saying I have a Hisense TV and 2 projectors. I connected them all to an HDMI splitter with the computer's input. With the computer's input going into the splitter. Okay. I was going to say with the computer's output. On OBS, when I want to project the program, it only works for the projectors, not the TV. What I would do is test it again, unplug the projectors so that you're only using the computer to the splitter and then go into your television, and do you get the same thing? We want to go through the process of elimination. Is it the cable? Is it the port? Is it the splitter? is it the jack that you plugged into? If you plug it into another jack that was going to the projector, does it show up on the TV? I would go through that and see what you get. Let's see. Mr. Baldwin here. Hey, AJ, how are you? It's hotter than July here in Philly. I forgot it's the 1st of August. Yeah, yesterday it was 104. Lord. Oh, speaking of, I didn't finish the video of yesterday. We had an issue. The issue was it wasn't LED Nation's fault, but the shipper that told me that they were going to deliver the digital walls on Tuesday were like, yeah, we changed our mind. We're going to send it to you next Tuesday. So the church is completely televisionless for this Sunday, and they were doing a baptism. So, it was kind of out of our control. So they're going to have the screens delivered on Tuesday, which I'm going to be in Chicago. Right when I get off the plane at noon, I'm going back to try and get one of these screens put up as fast as possible on Thursday. Hopefully I can get it done in one day. One screen, then I come back Friday after our live stream. Then I go and try and get the other one in place for next Sunday. I already set the expectation that it's going to be done by 4th Sunday, but aiming to get it done faster if possible. But that's why you didn't see that second part. And that video is going to be short. It's going to be like, hey, the stuff didn't come in. But that's what was going on yesterday in dealing with that. Let's see what else we got here. Patrick, excuse me. I'm using a router connected to the facility's LAN. My router has its own LAN subnet for all of my devices. On YouTube stream page, no signal detected from the ATEM. Is the ATEM, do you have the ATEM set to DHCP, or do you have it assigned and is also assigned to the IP range that new router is getting? I will verify that. Mr. Rob Wilson, I am testing dynamic mic for podcasting. Sounds amazing for $55. Sweet. Let us know how that goes. Back to Patrick. Follow-up part 2. On my home network, this same setup works fine. Streaming to YouTube, no settings were changed, just my home network versus the facility. And the IP address ranges are the exact same. I would just make sure, like I said, the ATEM is set to DHCP, or if it's static, it changes over to that same LAN that's made available. What equipment would help improve the Wi-Fi in our church? I am partial to Ubiquity stuff. That's what I'm going to probably add at 31st Street Baptist Church, because we're going to put some smart plugs to turn off remotely the screens and everything like we did at Good Shepherd. Now, I haven't had a chance to play around with the Ultraline. I have on some of the cameras. But if you're talking about the Unify stuff, they have this Ultraline that is a lot more cost-effective. So you have the Gateway and Unify Express. So the Unify Express has an access point in here, and it runs the Unify network. So it can control some other stuff as well, too. So you can get something like this and then pair it with some other access points, and that would greatly enhance the Wi-Fi. That would be one thing that I would do. I like mesh, but I kind of don't. That's normally my go-to. I use that at home. I have it at my mom's. This is where I install most of it. That's what I would recommend. Back to Aiken. Is SuperSource available to the ATEM Mini ISO, or is it strictly the Mini Extreme? It is strictly the Mini Extreme. And this Congo Web Radio and TV that was translated from my very rough, horrible French. Hello, I would like to ask you, dear brother, how can we connect a connected phone to any place on the planet via Wirecast, Mimo Live, or vMix? I mean, all you would really need to, well, I don't want to say all you would need to do that, the safest way is to do a dynamic DNS because, let me go back. You can connect to anything. What you would need to do is put a hole in your firewall for your router so that it can, your Wirecast, your Mimo Live, your vMix, whatever it is, can reach and can be talked to. You don't recommend that because that is very dangerous because anybody can connect to it. But from a high level, you would open up a port. Actually, let me just design this so you can see because this is too much for me to explain through. Get out of here. Where is my tools? Over here. So the first thing you would do, I'm going to tell you how to do it, but then I just know I do not recommend you doing it this way. So you got your router here. Most routers have some type of firewall that blocks all this other stuff from the interwebs. So when traffic tries to come in, the firewall blocks that because some of it might be nefarious. It doesn't have permissions. It tries to fake all this other stuff. And then you have your computers and stuff on this side, your cameras and all this other stuff like that. And that's how it is connected. And that firewall kind of protects what's on this side. So what can I use for a firewall? I'll just use this block right here. So that's your firewall. So that blocks certain stuff. Now, for what you're saying to work, if we had a camera and you're running vMix or something over here, right? Kind of like how I have mine. You can connect to an IP address here so that vMix can see that. But for this to work, you would have to open up a hole in your firewall that goes directly to this system. So it allows traffic to go in here. That's the easiest way to do that. But like I said, that is very dangerous because once you open that port, if anybody scans that port, and it's bots always searching for stuff that's available, for ports that are available in any way, shape, or form to be exploited. That's what you would need to do. And that is very simple. So you put in an IP address. This is made accessible. So whatever your IP address that is from your ISP, it's routed to that computer. And then people can hit your IP address and then boom, it just goes there. That is, again, very dangerous. You could also put this on the DMZ. This is almost as if you put the computer on the other side of this firewall and everything else is protected except for this computer is made accessible directly. This is just as dangerous as well. You don't necessarily want to do that, but again, you asked, this is how that would work, and I would not do that. But that's another thing you could do. Now, the one thing I would look at if you really, really, really wanted to do something like this, there's a website, Dynamic DNS. And there's other services that do something like this. So it's a small program that lives on this computer that gives you an external IP address. So out here, say the IP address is 192.168.0.20. The dynamic DNS would give that a different IP address of, I don't know, something out in the world. So I'm just making up something right now. 72.120.120. So this one is accessible. This camera would talk to this public IP address. Then the application jumps you to that. That's the safer way to do that. Now, I talk about the Unify stuff and the Ubiquity stuff. They have that built into the router, so you can do that directly if you wanted to. That's how you would do that. That's how I would do that. Personally, I would not access anything like that, but that's the easiest and the safest method to do that. And I hope that helps. Derek, do you do SoundGrid install setup? What do you mean by SoundGrid? Is that an actual brand, or maybe I'm reading too much into that? Give me a little bit more detail what you mean by a SoundGrid. Because I know Waves has a SoundGrid system. So are you talking about something like this? Let me know if that's what you're talking about, because if you are, no, I have not done this. But give me some more details, and we'll see about that. G. Albert was saying, so the problem wasn't you being at the wrong church when you started the video. No, I was actually at the wrong church. I was at 31st Street, Bethel AME, when I needed to be at 31st Street Baptist Church. I mean, I'd been at that church before and did help. So when I typed in my GPS, I just put it in and it flew up 31st. I wasn't paying attention. So I just went there and I'm like, oh, this isn't right. Back to Rob. When you set up the unified devices, are you adding VLANs? I usually do this to keep traffic off. Yes, I do. I set up a VLAN for guests, administration, security cameras, door access, and smart devices. So like here at my house, I have my default network. I have a 10 gigabit network VLAN. I have a security network VLAN. I have a family VLAN. That's why I put my daughter's stuff on that has more restrictions on what she can and can't do. They do content filtering on that VLAN. And then I have guest VLAN for if anybody comes and they get on Wi-Fi, they're restricted and they're isolated, so they can't get on nothing here in the house. They can't see printers, can't do anything. But that's the same thing that I normally set up for other people. And just like that, my phone is ringing. Hold on one second. Hello. Hey, can you call me back in an hour? I'm actually doing a live stream right now. You're live right now. All right, bye. Oh, funny. Um, nah, so I got you. And then your next part was just be careful of anything less than the UDM Pro line. It's limited to connected clients as well as other things. It's good for small churches and businesses and homes. Yeah, and that's what I like the Ultra line, those smaller ones. So like they don't make the I don't believe they make it anymore. So like for example, I'll show you because I like their more cost effective ones. Even though I have the UDM Pro at my house, so again, some of these are like I want to get this one, but again, this is the one that I have here. And again, 370, that's kind of high. I like these. I really want the Dream Wall, but anyway, so stuff like this. So like in my mom, this is what I have at her house that control everything. And I think they don't make this anymore. And I think they've moved to these. So these, I think they're trying to get more into the consumer line because you look at getting a router and you're talking about $370 some. Everybody's like, but these are more in line with regular routers, high-end routers, and actually even less than some of the Nighthawks and all this other stuff. So I think, yes, I agree. These are more for homes or like for small businesses, a small office or something like that, that don't need it to be super technical, but it has a lot of capability. So if I had like a small storefront church or something like that, I would probably do that with the intention of if they move to a bigger building to move them to migrate that to like a UDM Pro or something like that. So Derek, no, those I have not installed. I'll be willing to learn, but no, I have not install those. Mark, all right, thank you. Yeah, I have not. So I have to see about that. Let's see. Let's cut over here. Let's see what this is all about. Hardware solutions. Bring the power of Waves industry-leading plugins to your system. I mean, they look fairly straightforward, but again, I have never got my hands on one, so I could be blindly saying something without really knowing the details. I mean, installing it is probably going to be easy. Actually configuring it, that's where I would need some time to play around with it. But yeah, I would need to look into that. But no, personally, I have not done one of those at all. What else we have going on out here? Like I said, we have a bunch of videos. Like so much stuff has kind of caught me off guard. I was supposed to do a video for YOLO Live Cast. I need to do that this weekend. I need to work on that. Also, teachers, we have a teachers meeting for our next eMissionary conference. That's tomorrow. I know some people are not going to be available, but we're going to record that and make that accessible. We have some other stuff. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to show you. So we dream and we work on future stuff. So, again, this is our second time of doing our conference. Not exactly 100% happy with how it went, the layout. So we're working on some other stuff. I always play with other projects on the side. This is my internal WordPress website that I'm building out for the concept for next year, eMissionary Conference, which will be in person. So a more detailed, robust, flowing website with our teachers. I have more space for more teachers, a better schedule with how everything works. Looking at having a hotel. Again, it's still going to be online, but really want to encourage to have people there as well, too. So probably do something in Richmond, Northern Virginia, something in that area for right now. And then we'll expand out to other places. And if we have it in person, we are looking at something around this range. Again, that depends on the hotel and the conference room and all this other stuff like that. But we're going to have something in place where it's food. We have vendors, all this other stuff there. But then it's also going to be an online component. So this is kind of the concept we're looking to do next year. So we're building this out, and we're going to move away from the Squarespace stuff just because it's cool, but it doesn't give me the flexibility of what I would really like. And on the third year, we definitely want to have a get-together for doing in-person. The roundtable will be in person. So just imagine you'll go into we'll probably have 3 conference rooms kind of divvied up, and we'll live stream each session, but you'll have people in the class there as well as being able to talk to presenters. And then we'll use our same media ministry skills for everybody who's there. We'll have a dedicated streaming team to stream each class and put up comments and all this other stuff so people online, they can talk back and forth. The same type of functionality, but this is the growth and the development of getting to a real big conference that is annually and also multiple times throughout the year in different zones. So people in Europe, Asia, Africa, and then different parts of the United States can all come to. That's the dream of this, having this eMissionary conference that anybody can come to and you can learn. So that's the dream of what we're pushing towards. Philip Paul, hello. D Green, what causes mic volume levels to suddenly jump, causing feedback? Using an older PV Unity 1002 analog mixer. What now? Is it anything in particular? Is it just a microphone? Is it an instrument? If it jumps like that, I don't know offhand. I mean, the first thing that jumps to mind is if it's an older one, maybe some of the leads, some of the stuff inside the board has become unsoldered from overheating and it's tapping and causing something. That's the first thing I'm thinking. Cables, the instrument, equipment plugged into it. That's the first thing that comes to mind. To G. Albert, best spot for media gear. Seen multi-view monitors between you and pulpit or off to the side. What's ideal? Seen multi-view monitors. What do you mean by multi-view monitors? And you say between you and pulpit. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Are you saying the multi-view for the media, or are you saying a view for the people that are on the pulpit? Awesome, sir. I appreciate that. Give me some more details on that, Mr. Albert, so I can get a better understanding of what you're referencing. What else we got? I also have a video I have not finished editing. It is the video on the headless HDMI adapters that I have. If DaVinci Resolve would open, I will let you see what we got. I just got to edit the last part of it. Let's see. Let's cut over here so y'all can see. And of course, it's taking a minute. I still need to get another hard drive for my NAS. It's actually going slow. So if I go back here. Now, one of the other classes I'm teaching is church post-production. So we're actually going to go into doing this. I'm going to use DaVinci Resolve, but the concepts are kind of the same no matter what you use. So I got to finish editing this last section of this, and we'll put this up pretty soon. So, Reverend Leroy, there you go. There's some more work in Prism Live. We're doing that as well, too. So I used the headless HDMI and doing presentations in that as well, too. So we're going to be finishing that up hopefully this weekend, and we'll put that in place. All right, so Mr. Albert was saying multi was for the media team. So let me go back to your first spot. The best spot for media gear, seeing multi-view monitors between you and the pulpit or off to the side. Well, it all depends. Like right now in Antioch, they only have one multi-view, which is I've done long ago, which is all the way on the right side of the media booth, but that's only for the person who's doing the cameras and switching. Personally, if I had it to do again, I would do the exact same thing and have a multi-view on both sides so that the people on the audio and on the live streaming that's always all the way on the left can see what's going on as well as the right. But I kind of don't. In Antioch is different because they can see what's on the projector screens. So that shows what's going out there, and everybody else is really not focused on what's coming up next. Whoever's on ProPresenter is just focusing on ProPresenter, and whoever is the video director that has their multi-view, they see, okay, it's up, now we fire away because they do everything. So I guess what's the rationale? Again, not that it's right or wrong, but what's the rationale for everybody else to see that? I just want to know, because I know at that setup, only one person needed to see it. But I know like at Abundant Life, they have a multi-view that everybody needs to see because the multi-view from their ATEM isn't exactly what goes. It goes to their screen, it goes to their live stream, and it goes to vMix. So they have multiple teams handling the output that's coming from there. So, which reminds me, they got Abundant Life, they got hit with a bad storm. So I need to get back on the roof and not go through the walls, but we're going to pull another cable for their, y'all never saw that video neither because I didn't do that. But they got hit and their ATEM got fried, so 3 of the jacks are not working. So since they don't make that television studio HD anymore, we're going to be moving them to the Constellation ME1. That's in the same price range. That's the next go-to of that. So I'm just waiting to hear back from that, and that's where we're going to work. But I say that they have a multi-view that's available for everybody in their team, and then they have their audio engineers in a side room, so they have a multi-view as well too. So that way they can see if anybody is flagging, because their whole media department is on the other side of the building compared to where the sanctuary is. I think I got that. And George. Good morning, AJ. I love your content. It's my first time seeing you on a live stream. I can't wait to see you finishing up the 2 LED walls at the church. Hey, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward. This one should be a little straightforward. I know I'm looking for some help because I gotta reposition their 75-inch screen TVs, and they are some older ones, and they're solid glass, and they are heavy. So we're going to go on the balcony, which thankfully I don't need a ladder. I just need two people. When we put the mount up, we can actually go to the balcony and lower it onto the mount. So I think that's going to be a lot easier than that. So looking forward to that. We're going to pick that up with Thursday next week. Again, should the audio levels ever reach red, and if not, what level? I personally never let anything go to red. That's too hot, at least for in my personal opinion. I think at most I try and keep everything within 2 lines, 2 bars of yellow. That's me. And then if somebody gets if it gets anything in red, I don't like anything in red at all. A comfortable volume for me, in general, is I like to get people at least to 2 bars in yellow. That's me. But again, I know other people have different tastes, but that's just how I like mine. Mr. Rob, this is right in Richmond. It's literally up the street from me. So, hey, I'd be more than welcome for you to come on up here and help me lift these TVs up here. I know Doug is probably going to be there. He's the minister of music, and we'll see. And I think I need to measure off these screens. So it's going to be, and again, when I do the video, I'm talking about this. The screens now is going to be in 3 flight cases. They're 30 LED panels, so that's 15 per screen. So that's going to be 3 rows of 5. So I have to put 4 beams on each wall. So we already had the bottom beam, another beam to join the top of the first row and the bottom of the second row, then another beam for the second and third, and then another beam for the top of that. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3 more beams up to support everything, screw into that, doubly make sure that we're in studs. I mean, I was in there, but I want to make sure, and then we should go from there. But yeah, folks, I mean, I think, yeah, it's gonna be Thursday next week. So I land at noon, back from Chicago at noon, and then I leave straight from there, and then I'm going to 31st Street, and I'll send you an email on all that information. So I'm gonna be in a rush to try and get the TVs are gonna be easy. Once I put the mounts up, just hanging the TV, that's gonna be straightforward. The main thing is to get those at least one digital wall up and running, so that they'll be able to be powered up and all this other fun stuff. Angelo, are you consider buying a AVCam's PTZ camera? How far from the camera does the quality of the video start to get distorted? If you're getting a 20X, it's not necessarily, I guess it would be distorted, but a rule of thumb that I've stuck with, if this where the camera is placed and the farthest subject away from the camera is under 70 feet, a 20X is fine. So, like, for example, let me cut over here. In the very first setup or anything I've done like this, and that's the old one. This is the old channel. All right, so if I cut over here and see, this is where I was there and trying to, let me see how many years I have not been there. I know I'm changing the subject real quick, but these are all the lives, and it's like, what's the night? I'm not trying to badmouth anybody, but this just shows there's no care, in my personal opinion, that there's no care to this, because we should put some type of, no thumbnail was put there, no title, everything is just worship service. If I came in here, I don't know, and this is for anybody, I don't know what the subject is. I don't know what's preached on, nothing on with this, because it's just worship service. This now, this is right about the time when I transitioned out. So I would come in and give it a title at least, and do thumbnails. Didn't know what's going on with this. And why are some of these updated? I know I put, anyway, let me jump back because that wasn't what you're asking. So let me go over here to Pastor Paul. And from right here, that's the male chorus. And if I get a tight shot from where this pulpit is right here, this is all a PTZ Optics 20X camera. So that the pulpit is around 65 feet away from where this camera is going to be. And then even right behind them is the baptismal, which you really can't see because they need to lift up these lights. We could get a tight shot here. By the time it gets here, this is around like 85 feet. It starts to get kind of messed up from here. So that's what I would say. If it's 65, 70 feet, a 20X is fine. Anything further than that with a 20X, go for a 30X, and you'll be able to see that perfectly fine. Now, while I'm here, before I see this next question, one other tool that I have not talked about because I'm still playing around with it, it is this tool called, did they remove it? Hold on. Let me go to my, where's it at? I had a tool here. Okay, it must have been built in. All right, so it was a tool called Gleam, but I guess it's still installed. But I have something here with like ChatGPT. So say I have this past service. It now does an overlay here. I can click this, and it takes me over to ChatGPT, and it summarizes pretty much the entire transcript of the service. So we're going to be going over this. There was another tool. So obviously it's not the whole thing, but because it's not enough text. But there was a tool, I think it was called Gleam. Yeah, Gleam.io. No, that wasn't it. It was one. I got to find it. I had it downloaded where you can click on it and then it will translate and summarize any video that you have. So if you had a sermon or something like that, you can have it shortened and stuff like that. Coach, good morning. Good morning. Jerika. Hi, AJ. My online keeps telling me the volume is low. How do you recommend we fix that? We're using an X32 compact, running a matrix to our live stream. We have an A10 stream, 1/4 inch to 3.4. Now, you're running a matrix. So with the matrix, you could just crank the audio up. But let me show you exactly how I had to. And this, I don't like doing this, but this is what satisfied everybody at Antioch with the X32 compact that I installed there. Give me 1 second to log in. All right, so get over here. See, that's me going behind here and putting licenses on all the copyright strikes. There's work that y'all have to do behind. I mean, I'm probably teaching to the choir. Live streaming just your service. That's just. There's other stuff to make it palatable for people to digest. Putting titles, putting chapters, that's why we do the AI tools to help summarize this stuff for you, to make it a little bit better, a little bit more gooder for y'all. All right, so in here, what I did, I don't have a matrix, but I have my live stream separate mix for everything. And so for the bus, my live stream, I have that all the way up, which I don't like doing that, but that's only because the ATEM television studio drops all audio by 20 decibels for whatever reason, and you can't change that setting. So that's why I have this cranked up here, and then I have all my separate stuff done. Now, I mean, that's just me because it gives me a lot more control than I personally feel than the Matrix would give me, because the Matrix does give you kind of a mixture of, say, your mains, and you could crank that up, but that's just overall. I like doing a separate mix because now I can say, oh, sister, somebody is saying, oh, pastor needs to be louder. I can just turn that one mic up, and that's going to be affected just for the live stream only. That's personally how I like it. But again, who set up the matrix, and what was the logic behind why that was done? Just asking, because there's a reason why everything is done, but that's why I just wanted to know. Mom's video. Good morning, Dr. Holmes. What was your suggestion for a mount when a camera that vibrates that is mounted on a wall? It was, and I can't get to it right now. It was actually to use absorbers that you actually put on a washing machine. I'm looking it up so I can show you. So it wasn't necessarily this one. It was actually a block, a solid block. Yeah, this one. This is the one, actually the ones I did order. So I put this in between the mount and the wall, and then I did another one in between the mount and the camera. Now, another one that I did, which I don't believe they have anymore, is I'm trying to find the exact one that I did. It was kind of like a gimbal. It wasn't a suction cup one. I mean, but technically something like this could work if you were able to mount it directly. I almost want to play around with something like this. I don't know how big. I mean, this is too small. You would need something for a camera that's like almost a DSLR, like a 5-pound camera or something like that would be something that will work. So like this, what I actually used was just this ending piece right on the end, not the entire arm, but it was like a separate piece that doesn't look like it's available anymore. So I used that shock absorber against the wall on the mount, then put this end piece between the mount and the camera. So it was 2 levels of shock absorption. Like I said, when I get some more time, I need to actually design something because this is a common issue that a lot of people have. Hey, good morning, Rhonda. Philip Paul. When I live stream from Restream in our Facebook, it is set as private. Each time I have to change it to public in the Facebook page. How can I reset in Restream in order to stream to public? I don't believe you can set that in Restream. I think that's just pulling off of your settings that you have in Restream. Give me a second to log in. All right, so here in Restream, like if you go to Facebook and you go to your edit settings, hold on, I need to reconnect mine. Now, one quick tip. I made this mistake yesterday, and I'm glad I had a whole bunch of computers. I was deleting out my cache and stuff like that because in Chrome, because it had just built up. And I wasn't paying attention. When you clear out your cache, for whatever stupid reason, they defaultly check off passwords. So I wiped out every single password that I ever had. And thankfully, this computer wasn't syncing, so I was able to pull my passwords from that and restore it. But just be mindful of that. All right, give me 1 second to get my Facebook linked back to Restream. All right, so see, I'm on a personal page, so I don't believe that works. Let me see if I go to... And see, I need to upgrade this because I think the profile one won't let you change that. So if I do, and I'm not going to pay for that right now. Hold on. Let me just do it for 1 month and I'll cancel it real quick. That's the beauty of having your card memorized. I need to come in here and make sure I turn that off because I don't want to. I did that with Ecamm Live. Contact support. No, I know I'm in the right thing. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. See, that went through. See, silly. All right. So if I go to page and I connect this, so if I go to this page, there's my email saying I did this. So I need to come in here and cancel this. Come on. All right. So the page has been added. So now if I come in here to settings, see, there's still nothing like that. So let's go over to the Book of Face. Let's go over here. I'll log in here. And now, are you using Restream just like I did to where Restream talks directly to the page? Because it shouldn't. And I already had OBS open. So let me see what it actually does. So let me put these credentials in. I can't go to Twitch because I'm already streaming to that now. I don't need to go to my personal. Copy that. Select Restream. Put my key in there. We're going to start streaming. So we're here. And waiting for it to show. All right, so it says it's streaming. All right, so we're here. So let's come in here to manage the video. So you come into manage settings, stream. Yeah, there's, so if we go to distribution, yeah, there's no setting in Restream. You would have to look into, yeah, because Restream just takes over. So wait a minute. How many followers do you have on, and I'm showing that key. It doesn't matter. We're going to reset it anyway. How many followers do you have on your church page? Because Facebook did change that you need to have at least 100 on your page first before you could stream to Facebook. They made that change. Let me know about that, and let me go in here and change my stuff real quick. Man, I got it like at 72 degrees, and I'm still sweating in here. Like, this temperature is crazy. All right, let me change my key. Yay. So if anybody saw that, that is now gone. They're not going anywhere with that. But I would say check that. And like I said, there is no setting in Restream. It has to be done in Facebook. Trizzy Trey. Good morning, everyone. Brought a mini B-Link for myself. Solid PC for the size and price. Thanks for the recommendation. Hey, I'm glad you like it. I have a smaller one, the original one. this smaller one here, this is going to be my updated WordPress server, because this is small, and instead of me running a virtual machine, I'm just going to keep this in my rack, and I'm going to input Ubuntu Linux on here, and this is going to be my server, so I play around with my web services and all this other stuff like that. So really cool system. This one I actually got for $150. You can't really change much of anything in this one, but I gave this to a church for their security cameras just to hook up to a monitor, and then somebody dropped it and all this other stuff. So it still works. Ooh, excuse me. Still works. And it has 2 HDMI outs. Back to Patrick. I was able to stream with the ATEM to Facebook at the facility, but when trying YouTube, it doesn't work. So the IP network settings were not an issue. I don't know. That's strange. Well, I wonder, there's no protocols or nothing that stops, like my daughter's network, my VLAN, kind of like what Rob was asking about. I have it to where she can't stream. She can't do any type of outgoing video. I have that as a restriction, but I'm wondering, is there anything kind of like restricted or anything with YouTube? I wonder what that would be. Exactly. Thank you. You need 100 followers on Facebook, and you need to have 60 days on a new page. Thank you for that. Jarika, so what he was suggesting is this, and this is the same thing I do. So if I bring over my ATEM control software to the screen that y'all can see, so in here, if I come to audio, you could turn it up here, and you could turn it up here, and right there, that makes it louder. You could do that as an option as well, too. So that's kind of like what I have at now. I can do that at the Antioch. I fixed their CASA stuff. So give me 1 second. I will log in and kind of show you the same settings that I have on their ATEM, because I can turn that one on remotely. Oh, are you serious? I think when I deleted the emails, it deleted the password I put on this one. Shoot. All right, I'm going to have to do that one later. I can't turn it on, so sorry. I need to remote in and change that password as well, too. But let's see. You said it's a normal Facebook account. You're saying it's not a page, it's a normal Facebook account. You made me subscribe to this stuff. Nah, I'm just messing with you. I don't know. I mean, that's definitely, then it's not private. It's how you're posting it. You need to change your regular posts, your traditional post in Facebook, to allow to go to everyone. So like when I go to Facebook, my posts are to my friends only. It's not public. So it's probably going to copy that. So that's something that's not in Restream. That's you in your account that you need to change that for that to work. And give me 1 second, and I can find this password. Yay, that's it. Hold on. They got this text so small. Let me see. Let me copy it over here so I can actually see it better. And I'm glad I did that because I was typing in the wrong thing. Give me 1 second, and I will show you where that audio is. Well, I'll show you exactly the settings that I have with the ATEM at Antioch and how I have their volume set. Where is that key? Man, in the world. Oh, there it goes. All right, yay, I'm in. All right, so I'm already on the system here. So what we're gonna do is turn on the ATEM. And it's on because there's the monitor change. All right, so inside of here, as you can see, we have ours cranked all the way up too. So I have it cranked up from the X32. It's going directly into the ATEM, cranked up as well too. And now the volume overall is fine. Now I just have to adjust the levels based on the given input. So I don't change the volume. There it's set. So I just come in here to the live stream, and now I can adjust each individual person. So, for the most part, this is all fine. And this is what I'm listening to over headphones to adjust people live. Well, that's what I was telling them. That's why I did it when I was there. So that's how I have that. So let me turn this off. And we'll go back to answer some more of y'all's questions. And if you don't mind, folks, if you haven't, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, if you like what we do here, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out. It lets the algorithm know that, hey, there's something great going on here, and it offers these type of videos to other people who may be looking for help with media ministry. Brother Art, hello, hello. Back to Eureka. Thank you. Where do I sign up to get you to come get my board reset and configured? You would go to ajhomes.com/consultations. You can set up something and we can do that. Street Smart Christian #1, just subscribe. Hey, thank you so much for your subscription. T, hello, hello. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Alex, you are right on time. It's 11:30, and I want to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Can't take the little one to that one. I want to go see that. So I think I'm going to disappear here in a little bit and go see that. So right when I get out of the movie theater, I go pick her up from her fun little adventures for the day. And don't tell me I forgot my password for Fandango as well too. Lord, why is all my stuff? Please be mindful to not accidentally delete all your passwords from your password manager if you're using one. That's what you would say. Let me do a last couple of ones, and we're going to be up out of here. Let's see. I am looking for a way to use 3 screens with Mac Mini for Pro Presenter and found a product that allows me to do it. Just thought I'd share it with you, with the class. Aubrey USB to HDMI adapter. Okay. If you can go ahead and send the link to it, it's not going to allow it to show until I authorize it, but if you put a link on it, greatly look at it. And thank you for that. Kenneth, good morning. And Mr. Skilla, good morning to y'all. Like I said, folks, it's not too late for y'all to go ahead and get a part of the media ministry mentor website and go to the conference. Now that I got it up, I was typing it while we were doing it. So we come over here. All the information is here. I got some updates here. You can get signed up right there. It's actually, I need to take this down because we're pretty much too late to add any new teachers since I'm going to be out the entire week. I can't register anything like that. But would love for you. Why do people keep sending me this stuff? You can join there, and we got some other conferences and all that stuff. And right now, if you don't want to teach, think about it for next year, folks. Because again, you don't have to be in person to teach, but since we're going to have it in person, we're still going to have people offering if you want to teach remotely. So you don't have to be in Virginia. You can be anywhere in the world. We had people last year teaching from Paris, France, and we had some from South Africa. Had one in Australia and Canada, all over the place. It doesn't matter. That's what a beauty of the technology allows us to be anywhere to teach this stuff. But with in-person component, you have the option of being there, meeting everybody in person, sitting, having a live class and all this other stuff, and getting to meet and hobnob and socialize and network with other media ministries. That's the beauty of where we're going with this. It's always going to be available online, but I also want to have a place where people can meet people and talk and have sessions and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that. So I think, Mike is going to be teaching. Were you teaching the same thing, Mike, or are you doing another one? And email me at questions@ajholmes.com, the link, and what I'll do is tag that in the description of this video. Dr. T, hey, if I wanted to put another computer in our setup just to do some sermon setups and monitor Facebook and so forth, would I need to connect it to the ATEM for streaming purposes? No, you would not need to. If you just want to have another one computer in our setup just to do sermon setups and stuff, no, you don't need to. It doesn't need to be connected to the ATEM in any way at all, so you should be good. Mike, I completely agree, and that's something else that I was hoping I was going to learn at another install, but they jumped ahead, and I lost the ability to learn that. So I'm looking for some other folks with that stuff. There's a bunch of disciplines that media ministry needs to do, and my apologies. There's a bunch of podcasts I've been meaning to make. I've had to calm myself down before I record them because I can get very angry about some of them. The podcasts are really meant for mindset, and I think what we need to express to a lot of people, and I think Francisco's next class actually is talking about that. He's teaching on what leadership should know about media ministry. That's kind of the same thing that I'm talking with Pastor Paul at Antioch and some other pastors that I deal with. It's like, y'all don't need to know all the tech, but know how the tech can enhance your ministry and how not to trip over it and not block it from helping you. Like I said, using the AI tools to summarize a video. So like, for example, let me see if I can actually do this live here. So let me go to my channel, and we're going to go to a shorter video. I need a short one. All right, so this one. So if I come over here, and of course, now it's not going to show my summary stuff. It was just showing it. Y'all saw me do it. There it goes. We click on that. So right here, see, it just summarized my entire video. That makes it very simple. So let's see how accurate it is. AJ the CEO, spelled my name wrong, received the X32 board, audio board delivered to his doorstep in Alexandria, Virginia. No, that is not right. The board came with a 256 gigabyte exFAT formatted drive, which had to be reformatted to X32. it didn't come with it. I bought it with it, so that's not right. AJ successfully imported a previously saved scene onto the new board, retaining all the settings from the channel. That's correct. He noted that some channels were marked as local connections, explain routing. That's correct. AJ mentioned plans to use the shielded Ethercon cables and USB for the computer. That's correct. So you could take this and it makes a summary of your video, or the same way, let's take this video again and just the power of what you can use these tools to do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to actually and it's GLASP, not Gleam. So I was typing the wrong thing. And I'm not logged in. Hold on one second. Let me log in. Like I said, I deleted all my cookies and all this other stuff, and it just messed up all my stuff. Are we in now? I'm on the wrong account. Sorry, picking the right account to be logged into, because I have this as a business account. So I picked the wrong one. Are we in now? All right, good. We're in the right one. All right, so now I use the Vox script, and I'm polite, so I say, please give me the top 5 points of this YouTube video. Now, this script is actually reading the transcript and then summarizing it. So 1, importing scenes, formatting drives, setting up channels, routing, connecting, avoiding noise, importing this. See, this is what I like. So now another way you can use this tool, I'm going to go back to Antioch because I remember when I did the sermons separated. So I did the sermons as separate videos instead of the entire service. Oh, and I spelled Baptist wrong. All right, let me go back to them, and then I have playlists, and none of these have been updated in years. So let me find just a sermon by itself. Because anything that's super long is going to be hard for it to do a summary of. So like right here, it's a family affair. So this is a short sermon by Reverend Harris. So I'm going to take this link, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Please write a summary for this YouTube video. So you can use this, and I'll just show you another one you could do from here. So it's going to read that. It's 25 minutes. You don't want anything super, super long because it's too much for it to analyze. And right now, live stream links don't work. It needs to be a video that's actually been uploaded. All right, so it's summarizing God's goodness, Black History Month, family as a precious gift, spiritual adoption, a call to choose Jesus, and it gives that. Family is described as the second most precious gift from God. Reverend Harris explains that becoming part of God's family involves a spiritual adoption process through Jesus Christ. See, stuff like this makes it a lot simpler. So now you could say, do this, or the other one I like to do, if we need some descriptions, I'll say, please write a YouTube description for this video in 1 paragraph. And it should retain the memory of what I just searched on, so I don't need to do it again. So join us for an inspiring sermon by Reverend James Harris at Antioch Baptist Church titled, It's a Family Affair. In this message, Reverend Harris delves into the significance of Black History Month, the precious gift of family, and spiritual adoption into God's family through Jesus Christ. He emphasizes the transformative power of Christ's blood, which unites us as sons and daughters of God beyond our earthly recognitions. Watch this powerful sermon to understand how faith in Jesus brings us into God's eternal family, offering hope, redemption, and a deeper sense of belonging. Don't forget to like, subscribe. That's you know how much easier that makes that if we go here into the description that right now had nothing but my intro. That's all it was. So, and then it wasn't updated with none of the stuff. So, I mean, it just helps to enhance your videos instead of it just being some generic name with a worship service with no date, no context at all. If somebody came across that, why would I want to watch that? You need to help show information so that people want to watch it. I'm going to add some new tidbits to my session that I've learned. Awesome, Mike. And then last one we're going to do. That's good about pastors not tripping over tech and making it a problem versus help. We're all, again, I always said this, the biggest trick that we've ever fallen for is the enemy has us fighting amongst ourselves instead of us working together and fighting him. So that's the whole thing. The tech is not trying to destroy people. Like, for example, I'll say this personally. From the sound system, a lot of musicians at Antioch had an issue because it was like, oh, AJ's doing. I'm like, first off, I don't go to the church anymore. I'm not putting in a brand new sound system just to mess with you. That's very that's very interesting to think an entire sound system was just to mess with you. No, the entire sound system was to enhance the sound. The board was old. It couldn't be repaired. It would have cost an arm and a leg. Nobody works on it anymore. It's to bring it up, have more technology, more features. That was the purpose of the board, number one. Number two, it was an issue with the sound, and there was no documentation on how everything was routed. This gave us an opportunity to reroute, fix the speakers in different zones. We also had an issue with the fact that it was so loud because musicians brought their amps on the stage. They would turn the amp up. Their amps got picked up by microphones, which amplified it again. Then other musicians couldn't hear themselves, so they had to turn their amps up, which also fed into mics, where the original player with the amp had to turn their up, and it was a battle that they kept going on and on and on. So the idea is you give them in-ears, you can blast your eardrums out if you want to, and it doesn't affect anybody, and it doesn't pick up the mics. It's balance. That's what the board is for. So if you're so to the point of thinking it was just about you, you got your priorities wrong. You're not that important that we get an entire sound system just for you. It was meant to enhance everything. But anyway, that was it. So anyway, folks, I think that's about it. I'm trying to find me this ticket here so I can go see some Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm going to do that real quick after I change my password so I can log in to Fandango so I can buy my ticket. And I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and let it be known. I don't care what anybody else says. You're important. What you bring and what you do in your ministry is important, whether anybody understands it or not. Family, when I was originally at Antioch, no one knew what God told me to do when it came to doing this and teaching media. No one knew. When God called me, he didn't call a conference call. He didn't invite multiple people. He told me. And a lot of people didn't understand that. Now you look at it 5 years later, everybody's like, oh, AJ, that was so great. We always supported you. No, you didn't. You lying. You didn't support me. You thought I was crazy. Now it's not about fitting in. It's about doing what you know, what your gifts and talents are and what God's giving you. And just realize that what you're doing is important. All the work of watching my videos, anybody else's videos, studying, spending your money, trying to figure out how splitters work, doing lower thirds, that is important because that is essential. You are at your ministry for a reason, with the gifts and the talents that you have for a reason. Don't let anybody shoot down what you're doing because God called you to do it. It's important. I appreciate what you're doing. Yeah, I'm not at your ministry, but guess what? You're a part of the body of Christ. That's what makes it important. So I need you just as much as you need me. We need each other. I'm not competing with you. I'm complimenting you, and I hope you do the same thing. Don't keep all the information that you have to yourself, just like why I do this. I don't get paid to do this. I do this to help y'all. And I hope that you take that same mindset, that kingdom mindset, and share the same knowledge you have, just like I'm with you, with anybody else in your community that needs help as well too. That's how we move it forward instead of trying to raise up our own kingdom and beat each other. We're in this together. If you're not in it together, then we're not on the same team in the first place. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And also, that's what I forgot to do. We did update it, folks. Just realize we're at we're on our way to 64,000 subscribers, and every 10,000 subscribers, we are doing a giveaway. And yes, I did update it. We have 2 giveaways. We're gonna give away one $2,000 live streaming bundle or 2 $1,000 live streaming bundles. The link is down below, or it's right here. This is also in the description. If you've already entered, you don't have to worry about it. You're already there. If you're a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, I enter your names in twice. And I want to give a big shout out to all my Patreon and YouTube member supporters. Again, I don't have any brand sponsorships or anything like this. It's great people like these that help me contribute, that this money goes to these bundles and these giveaways that we do. They don't pay for the rent. They don't pay for the car. It goes everything into my ministry, my YouTube channel, to help educate y'all. So if you like what we do, you can always go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO to get started for as low as $1 a month. Or you can click the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. And again, thank you so much, folks. I hope you have a great day, evening, afternoon for the 3rd time. And we'll be seeing y'all on the next video, folks. Later.